All right, what's up, everybody? I'm so glad you're here. It's going to be such a great call tonight. I am so pumped to have Courtney be on. She'll be on here in just a second. I've got some announcements to go over. We're going to do some recognition. It's going to be awesome. So I hope you guys have had a good Monday so far. So we've got a lot to talk about as far as announcements go. So we've got the Weekender Kit, which if you saw, Sarah just posted about it in the team chat. Crazy good deal to be sharing with people about. Also a great way to generate some kind of interest with your current clientele, especially if they've been wanting to try things like beach bars and energize and recover and haven't had the funds to do so, or didn't want to commit to a whole tub of it and not like it. So for $25 for customers, $18 for coaches, comes with so many things. You get 2 energize, 2 recover, hydrate, and then 3 beach bars for that price, which is literally crazy. So that's a great opportunity. That's FAQ 7621 if you need more information on that. And then our salted caramel Shakeology. Who's excited about salted caramel Shakeology? Oh, I'm so pumped. Caramel is my favorite flavor. I cannot wait. So salted caramel goes live on June 23rd. I wrote FAQ, but not the number. So I don't know what the FAQ is on that. You can search it. But those are 14 serving packages. So those are not a full Shakeology bag. Just if you've never done a special flavor launch before, if you haven't been a part of that before, because we've done pumpkin spice and peppermint mocha before. So if you've not been around for those, just go read up on the FAQ because pricing is a little bit different. And also, if you're working towards Success Club for the month, keep in mind that order does not count towards your 90 PV needed for Success Club. So just as an FYI. Okay, so Salted Caramel goes live this month on June 23rd. And then we've got a couple team things that I want to talk about. So we've got our Time to Shine Challenge, which starts next Monday. That's going to be such a killer group. We've got so many amazing prizes from decals with your with Coach, like Coach Lindsay, whatever your name is, on there. There's a tank top, there's a personal development book, and then there is at the end, you can either win a monogram loungewear set or you can win a pair of Nike tennis shoes. So we've got some killer prizes that are available within that group. I've put all the details on the team page. It's important to note that in order to even get in that group, you have to be an active Emerald coach. So make that a goal so that by next Monday, you're at least an active Emerald or more. Get your coaches involved so they can be an active Emerald or more and be a part of this group. We're going to do so many, all the stuff we have planned out for the next 30 days is just going to be awesome. So you don't want to miss that. We also have a power hour this Thursday at 8:30 per usual. And then next week, I have another guest speaker, Morgan Butler. I just solidified that she was going to be speaking to our team next Monday. She's a firecracker. Y'all are going to absolutely love her. She's in 7-star qualification right now. She was a 2020 Premier coach. She's going to bring the fire out, and she's specifically going to be talking about social media and using social media to attract people to build a business alongside of you, which is going to help you a lot financially. So that's super exciting. Okay, so next, I want to do some recognition. So I have a couple people that I want to shout out, but I want you guys, if you have one of your coaches or something you're celebrating in your business, I want you to unmute yourself and share that with the crew. Who wants to go first? We'll call out Lindsay because I already know she had somebody.
She's not on tonight. She's got family over tonight, but I am shouting out Shauna. She's one of my newest coaches, and she literally signed up less than a week ago and is already Emerald. And one of those is not her husband. They are just 2 people, not family. So I'm pretty stoked for her.
That's amazing. She hadn't even announced it either before she was signing up. That's awesome. Yep. Amazing job, Shauna. Hopefully she listens to the recording of this. I want to shout out, I'm not going to do mine yet. Who wants to go next? Anybody want to shout themselves out for something they're proud of, something that they're excited about? I am proud of Jordan and myself for doing the dang reset. I'm just going to say that right now. Pat my own self on the back for that one. Oh, gosh. Anybody else? It's okay if you don't. We're growing. We're learning. Okay, so I want to shout out Lindsay. She hit 1 star last week, which we saw. So that's that requires like 6 weeks of grit. That is not an easy qualification. So that's amazing testament to her commitment to her business. I also want to shout out Sarah Governell for hitting SC10 in her first month as a coach. Like literally she hit the ground freaking running, and that's insane. And then Kaylee's on here. Kaylee's not my personally sponsored coach. She's one of my coach Bree, her coaches. Kaylee's been in our challenge group for several weeks and just is such an amazing challenger. And she hit the ground running, and she launched her business in month 1. She locked in Success Club, and it was like down to the wire. The last day she was like hustling to pull out Success Club, and I just think that's absolutely awesome. She locked in Emerald. She's going to be Emerald on Thursday. Again, she's not my PS coach, but it's such an amazing thing to celebrate. So anybody else have anything that they want to celebrate tonight? Okay, our guest speaker is going to be here in like 3 minutes. So anybody have a suggestion for things that they would like to learn more about or that they're struggling with in their business that I could do future team calls? I want to take this time to get your feedback on that. Anybody want to unmute themselves and share that with me? Oh, come on, y'all. You love me. Don't be shy. Don't make me put you on the spot. Jen, what do you want to hear more of? Oh, I don't know. You're going to have to unmute yourself. What do you need in your business right this moment? Because whatever you're feeling, 10 other people on the team is feeling.
I'm struggling with sharing on social media. It's crazy. Like being not the same things repetitive, if that makes sense.
Like you feel like all you're sharing is fitness and that's it, or fitness and your kids?
Yeah. Well, I mean, I honestly, I feel like my day's very boring and
same.
Stories aren't as, like exciting. So trying to find more things to post about.
Yeah.
Maybe over like finding those like 5 pillars, those 6 things, those kinds of things.
Yeah. Okay. Good question. Let's just talk about that for a second, because I feel like that's a really great kind of starting point. So if y'all struggle with this, search Color Wheel in our team page. There's actually an activity that gives you a way to figure out what are your 10 areas in your business that you can talk about outside of Beachbody. It helps you be very well-rounded on your social media. Jen, one thing that I think would help you, and actually anybody, is if you were to do a deep dive into your pictures. So go into your laptop or your phone or wherever you kind of store pictures from 4, 5, 6, 7 years ago, however far you want to go back, and look at what you feel, what emotions seeing those pictures bring up, because you can start to tell stories around that emotion, or you can start to tell stories around that experience and use it as like a compare what you're experiencing right now to what you experienced then. So for example, did you take pictures of food, 6 years ago when you weren't eating healthy? What did that look like? And then now what is your normal meal? So you can do transformations out of that, but using your own pictures as inspiration. A lot of times when I'm struggling to like share my story or know what to say, I'll do a deep dive into, kind of the memory lane to see how different I am, because you're going to begin to pull some of those emotions out of that memory lane to be able to use and translate into those future posts. So try doing that and see if you come up with some extra content. I see Courtney is on. Thanks for sharing, Jen. Courtney's on. Courtney, you can unmute yourself. I'm going to introduce you. I know that you're like probably just barely breathing after that call. We can hear you. That's awesome. So Courtney is my friend. So Courtney and I met initially in the Morning Meltdown 100 test group. Now that's a big deal. If you got in that group, you had to hustle your face off to earn a spot in that. Like you had to have crazy high SC numbers. So she earned her spot in Morning Meltdown 100 test group and has really crushed. Like, would you say that 2019 was like a monumental shift in your business?
Yeah.
Yeah. So she's the 2020 Premier Coach, and she's going to be talking about resiliency in your business, which I think especially right now, we can all use a dose of that. So Courtney, will you tell us a little about yourself, like a little about your story, and then, take it away, girl.
Yes. Thank you for having me, you guys. It's good to see all your faces. Rachel and I, yes, I'm so glad we met in the Morning Mountain On test group. That was such a close-knit group. And I tell you guys, if you're new coaches on here and you have the ability to earn being in the next test group by being a success starter, do it. It's such a once in a lifetime opportunity, and it does wonders for just your confidence and everything. So I'm Courtney. I am actually a school psychologist by day. So I work full time as a school psych. And I am a coach in the cracks of life is what I like to say. It's been nice to be able to have more time to devote to coaching these past few months. And I will tell you that the accolades and everything are great, you guys, but the amazing thing about this business is being able to help your coaches have success. That is seriously the most fulfilling thing ever, and you just have to press through the hard times to get there. So I am actually someone who has been going through a lot of health things recently. I'm super open about it, and I don't mind sharing. I actually was diagnosed with polycystic ovarian syndrome about 3 years ago. It has been a roller coaster, to say the least. And then last year, right after the test group, I decided to just step up for myself and make some big changes in advocating for my health. So I started working with a functional medicine doctor, and I was really, really tired all the time and had a lot of hormonal stuff going on. And that's really where I was able to build resiliency. And that's what I want to talk to you guys about tonight, because the resiliency that you have right now, you're going to see that pay off in 6 to 8 months and in your future. You might not see it in this very moment, but you will see it as you continue to grow. So I have slides because I'm a squirrel and I have to be able to see something while I am talking. So let me share. Am I able to share? Awesome, I am. Okay. Maybe not. Hold on. You might have to make me a host to share. I'm not sure.
Yeah, let me make you a host.
Okay.
Make host. Okay. All right, there you go.
Awesome. And feel free to ask any questions as we go through. I'm all about people asking questions and just being able to support you in any way that I can. So please shoot them in the chat. Okay. So whatever your story is right now, it is going to stick and it is going to speak to people. So I want you to think about what you've gone through in the past 60, 90 days. We've all been through a lot. What things have you overcome? What are you going through right now that is teaching you something that you can apply to your life and to your business? Okay. Summer 2019, I made really big, scary decisions. I came off of birth control that had been on for 12 years. I was terrified that it was going to help me. And I hit rock bottom. I was having a really hard time with energy. It was really hard for me to go to work because I just was tired all the time. I would come home and I would take 3-hour naps in the afternoon. It was really, really hard, but I knew that the struggle had to turn from a narrative of why me, why now, to how can I use this season for a reason? Because I could sit there and I could place blame and I could have a pity party for myself, but that wasn't going to get me anywhere. That wasn't going to give me freedom to be able to, eventually work this business full time, which is something that I am working towards right now because I need that for my health. So I thought long term, at that moment, no, I wasn't able to do that, but I knew that one day I was going to, and I wanted that for my life. So share the struggle and don't hide it. Ask yourself, how can I use this opportunity to give and to serve? What am I learning that I can share? So I would put up post about my journey. This is actually in November. This was about a month after I had been diagnosed with late stage 1 adrenal stress. So basically, that means that there's a lot of cortisol going through your body a lot. And you're really, really exhausted or really, really anxious. That's what that means. So Sundays were like my day to chill on the couch. I'd spend all day long on the couch because I needed that for my body. And people showed up for me. Like the girl that just commented on that, she's actually on our team now. You know what I mean? Like those types of things were really important for me to share. If I would have hidden that, those people would have never known and they would have never connected. Okay. So your story is super important. Stories That Stick is a really good PD. I've been reading that lately. She was actually supposed to speak at Summit. And it's really, really good about how to like share your story. And it gives you really good ideas for questions and just really how to dig into that. Okay. All right. So something that I would tell myself all the time is this can't be for nothing. This can't be for nothing. I'm not going to let time pass me by because this can't be for nothing. I want you guys to realize that the team that I have right now in 5-star qualification, I found them all when I was at in the hardest time of my life. Okay. I found them all last year. It's not like if I wouldn't have showed up and still invited and still done the things, like this wouldn't be happening right now. Okay. So this is not for nothing. This pandemic is not for nothing. These things that are going on are not for nothing. We have the opportunity to have gratitude, right? And do it with more than words. Belief. Okay. Words are just words until they're acted upon. So if you can say it all day long, but if you don't believe it, it's not going to get you anywhere. Gratitude, guys, over and over again. In the morning, you don't have to write it down, but just be aware and take some time for yourself to say like, wow, like this is what I have going for me right now. Figure out what this means. What is the purpose behind what you are experiencing? And it doesn't have to be it doesn't have to be some big health issue. It could be just like you're a new mom and you're like, oh my gosh, why do my kids hate me right now? Like I can't sleep. All they follow me around. I have friends that are kids and they're like, oh my gosh, I just need a nap for like 1 hour so I can do my workout. And like, what is the meaning? Guess what? You're learning to be like so efficient in 1 hour. Think about that. Like they're like the most, my friends that are moms are like the most disciplined human beings. They're like, okay, so at 1 p.m., they're going down for a nap and then I'm going to work out. And then I'm like, you're amazing. Guess what? You're learning structure, right? Like think about all the great things that you are teaching yourself that you can teach your team and the people that are following you. Okay. And be real and authentic. Okay. You don't have to give everybody every juicy detail about your life, but don't show up every single day asking like you got rainbows coming out your butt. Okay. Like no one's life is like that. Okay. It's not. Okay. It's really not. And you can even say that. I say that to some people all the time. I'm like, well, this morning, it's not that great. I really wish my life was like this, but that's not real. Okay. And I tell my team this, I'm like, stop saying I'm just, because that's who you are. You're not just a mom. You're not just a school psych. You're not just, this and that. You are. And that's what makes you really freaking awesome. So, I don't know if you listened to the wake up call this morning, but she was talking about how like she just shared like the mundane parts of her life and kept it real. Like for me, well, I had to clean up cat vomit again today. Like that was a joy. You know how many people message me about litter boxes and cat vomit? Like it is insane. Ain't nobody gonna vote on my poll, but they're gonna be like, oh my God, my cat threw up today too. Be real in this season. People need to laugh right now, and people need to know that yes, their house looks like a tornado hit it, but yours does too, and it's okay. realism really prevents people from having shame about themselves and feeling shame. And if you have not dug into Brene Brown, just do it. I love her, and she really talks about getting shame out of your life and conversations. So go to her for that. And that really leads to grace and forgiveness and allowing yourself to fail and being okay with it. You know, there were days when it was like, well, I didn't invite today, but I showed up on stories 3 times and I took a nap for 3 hours, and I still showed up. Like, I still was present in some form or fashion, and I gave myself grace and moved on. Something you're going to notice is, and this might happen with your challengers, with your team, is a lot of my girls want to, if they get off a workout program for like 3 days, they want to start over. And I'm like, what are you doing? Do not start over. Like, you got to week 4, girl, hop back in and go. But I think so many times we think it has to be perfect and it has to go the specific way, or like we're not good enough, or it doesn't matter, and it matters. So give yourself some grace and just keep going. What would you know, anytime I get, like, I'm really hard on myself, I'm like, what would I tell my challenger? If my challenger came to me or my coach came to me, what would I say to them if they said to me what I just said to myself? I would give them grace, right? So let's focus on doing that for ourselves too, and demonstrating that. It's just like you do for others. I do, like when I'm in school and I'm around little humans all the time, like, I want to make sure that I am modeling what I want them to do. You know, if I stump my toe in the hallway, I'm not going to pitch a hissy fit. I'm going to be like, oh, that hurt. Oh, let me keep moving. You know, like, kids watch you and they want to see how they should react. So your challengers and your team, they're going to see like, oh, well, she's going through something really tough right now, but she's still coming to team call. She's still getting on and, you know, checking into the team page. She's still logging her workout. That is where this becomes meaningful, because you're intentional and you know that this isn't for nothing. And I really feel like that's why I have the team I have right now. I wish they were on here. I have people who they just don't freaking give up. And I really think it's because they watched me last year. You know what I mean? Like, I have one of my very best friends, because of this business, is getting married on Saturday. And she was texting us a couple days ago, and she was like, I was determined that no one was going to ruin my wedding. Like, this was going to happen regardless. We were going to figure it out. And like, you'll start to hear the people that you attract say things like you. So how do you want them to face adversity? Think about that. Okay. All right. And these are copy pasted, so some of them are not, like, they're not grammatically correct, but it's okay. So what I did as a experiment or a gathering of data is I messaged coaches who signed up with me between July of last year and January of this year, and asked them why they followed me and why they signed up with me. And I cannot read these because I will cry. But you can read these. And when you read these, you will not hear the following things. You had really great stories, IG stories, or, oh my God, like, your makeup was perfect. Or, I just really like the fact that, like, you were happy all the time. None of those things, right? Vulnerability, willingness to be vulnerable, share the not so gorgeous parts of my life, sharing consistently, okay? Openness, not being pushy, understanding, checking back later, genuine interest in a human being, and sharing your story. These are the people that were there watching me through really difficult times. So provide people with a story to follow, and they're going to be your people. They they don't want to sign up with someone who's perfect. They want to sign up with someone who they trust and who they believe is going to be there for them. Okay. My cat says hi. Okay. Assess your struggle in the process. Okay. Like right now, what is tough for you? Okay. Are there things that you're just not showing on social media? And why is that? So is it truly fear? Is it fear? Is it the fact that maybe you're not confident with that piece of your life or sharing that? Are you afraid of what like people are going to think? Is it judgment? What is that? Okay. And go to the proof. What do your followers respond to? Like, what do they like? Do more of that. And have you tried showing up in different ways so that they can see your face? They can hear you. Have you done a live? Have you done an IGTV? Excuse me. Do they see you in different ways? I am so big on seeing people talk in lives. I'm a psych. So like people's faces and their tone of voice, like people can look at your post all day long, but as soon as you open your mouth, they truly can hear like if you're genuine and what you're about. Okay. They can truly feel your energy when you get live. So whether it's on stories or whether it's IGTV, I really encourage you guys to do something in that avenue if you haven't already. It does not have to be perfect. It does not have to be edited and fancy. You can literally, I sat on my front porch this morning and went live, okay? And recorded an update on my lab work. Like it doesn't have to be fancy, okay? And how will you show up for the people watching you? Okay, and if your next challenger or coach showed up the way that you do, would they be successful? That's a good gut check that I do for leadership is, okay, are my coaches being successful right now? Are they hitting their goals? If the answer is no, I ask myself, am I showing up in a way that would model for them if they did exactly what I was doing, okay, would they be successful? How are you setting that example? And it's not just in your business, because we all know that like workouts, nutrition, like personal development, being a part of the community, that comes first. Are you doing those things, right? Because you can sign up people all day long, but if you're not plugging in with them and you're not like in the trenches with them, why would they want to be a coach if they don't see that coaches are also in it? Do you know what I mean? So think about it like that. All right.
I got a funny story when you're done.
Okay, cool. Real life right here. Okay. So how I build trust in my discipline muscle, okay? Discipline, guys, is a big part of my belief system. Motivation is just a crap word. I don't know why that word exists, because I don't really feel like I ever really have it. Unless I'm like going to Disney World and I got to like get up early, then I'm motivated, okay? Like the motivation is only existing when it's like something so freaking big that's waiting that you'd probably do it, right? Like if someone was like, get out of bed and get your workout clothes on, I'll give you $1 million. Yeah, you'd probably do that, okay? But yeah, I would. But like discipline is the secret sauce, okay? Discipline is doing it when you don't want to do it, because that makes it where it becomes a routine and it's not dependent on your feelings. It's dependent on your goals and what you want. So show up every single day and share a part of your story over and over and over again. Something that I'll never forget. I can't remember where this training was, but it was like, people should be able to repeat your story back to you. They should know why you signed up, when you signed up, how it's helped you, where you are now. They should know that I signed up when I was moving to a new city, starting a new job, buying a new house, and was broke and charged my challenge pack on Amazon credit card because I hadn't been paid for 2.5 months. They should be able to regurgitate your story from beginning to end, okay? I know that Haley Christian was a bartender and worked 12-hour shifts because I've watched her stuff, and I know because she talks about it all the time, okay? People are going to identify with parts of your story, and you might not have people join your team that are exactly like you, but you will have people that join your team that have a piece of you, right? Whether it's, if you're a mom, you're probably going to attract moms. They might not be, the same amount of kids as you or the same situation, but you have that thing in common. That's who you're going to find. And set your lifeline survival list. Okay. This is basically a list of like 3 to 5 things that you can do to keep your business alive on days when you would rather not. Okay. So what are those things? For me, I have to show up on social media, period. Whether it's a post, whether it's in stories, I've got to be somewhere. People need to see my face. Okay. That's really important to me. Number 2, invite. If you do nothing else, you have to move the business forward every single day. You don't have to invite 20 people, but you need to invite a few, okay? 3rd thing, workout. Because that's my mental sanity. Like, working out is my sanity. That's my 3rd thing, okay? And I had to check into my team page. I had to check in some form or fashion to the community and my team page. And that was that was literally my lifeline. Yeah, nutrition is not there, okay? But I was not going to starve to death, right? Like, I was going to make some decisions. But, it makes you feel accomplished and you don't feel like a failure, okay? Enneagram 3 here. I don't know if anybody else is Enneagram 3. Achiever, that's me. One day, not posting or not being present, I feel like a failure because that's just that's just my personality. Like, I have to do something. It doesn't have to be perfect, but I need to show up. So having that list and saying, like, this is what I can do when I'm having a really rough day, and I can do all of these things from the couch, was really important. Okay, minus the workout, but you know what I mean? Like, I can do all of these things but my workout from the couch. So I can do this. I can do this. So make your survival list. That way, when stuff does happen, you're already ready. And that really gives you a sense of comfort and control in knowing that, oh, I already know what I'm going to do today. And once I do that, like, I know it's going to be okay. And then I'm going to take some time to have self-care and move on. Evaluate and restructure what you are taking in for personal development. Okay. So when I was going through all of this, I wanted stuff on resiliency. That's what I needed. And Shaun T is probably like the most resilient human being I think I've ever met in my life. And his book, T is for Transformation, literally talks about his story. I know he shared this on social media, and this guy, like, he was molested as a child for years and years and years. And then he moved to live with his grandparents, and then he made his own keep that way and helped them. And then it took him, like, insanity. He just didn't walk up to Carl Deichler and be like, let's do insanity. No, he was turned down, and then he brought all his friends in and they pitched it. And that's how insanity happened. And then how many rounds of infertility treatment did he go through? How many surrogates did he go through? Like 4 or 5? And now he has twins. Like, this guy is like the epitome of resiliency. Find what you need. I tell my girls, like, please don't read Girls Wash Your Face if you don't need to wash your face. Like, read something that you need. If you need a swift kick in the rear end, read Grant Cardone, okay? Or Josh Coates. Like, know what your soul needs, because this is for you. And ultimately, if it's not pouring into you and filling you up, then it's not doing you the service that it's intended, okay? Let me check the chat. Hold on. Okay, we're good. All right, let's do some reps. So I want you to put in the chat what you're reading for PD or what you're listening to as far as podcast. I will say, disclaimer here, podcasts are great, but a lot of times I feel like we jump around and we don't really get what we need. We just get what's new. So, like, I love Keisha Fitzgerald. She, like, hypes me up. I freaking love her. But, like, if I just listen to the most recent thing that she uploads, it might not be exactly what I need. It can be a supplement, but like, I feel like having a book that's very focused is going to do you more good than just listening to random podcasts. Okay. Let That Shit Go. Who is that by? I want to know about that book because that sounds like something I need. Oh, I've heard Untamed is so good. Do It Scared. Grant Cardone, The Obsessed to Be Average is probably top 5 books for me. Very good book. Trent Shelton, yes. You're a badass. Awesome. Get out of your own head. Trent Shelton has a great podcast. He's like my walk in the morning. I love listening to his rehab time. Cool. It's by Monica Sweeney. Okay, thank you. All right, so right now I am reading Super Attractor. I am reading Super Attractor by Gabriella Bernstein. I'm almost done, and I am very sad because I love this book so much. And the reason I chose her, I've been reading her books for a minute. I read The Universe Has Your Back and Super Attractor because I really needed a belief shift. I really needed to dig into belief and like really having a positive mindset because, to be honest with you, like March was very hard. Like it's been very hard, and I am someone who I'm very affected by other people's energy, and I could feel it kind of making me like so I dug into those books, and that was really helpful. So I want you to think about that. And what's one thing from your personal development that you can share more about on social media? Are you sharing that? A lot of times when my coaches come to me and they're like, I don't know what to post about, I'm like, are you reading PD? Because that's where your post can come from. It's so good. Or even just listening to a podcast in the morning and then using that as notes. Someone said, and I think it was in our chat that Rachel and I are in, about like doing a voice memo. If you are reading something and you just want to take a quick note down of what you like about it, do a voice memo to yourself and save it. And think about, do you feel stuck? Okay. Do you have blocked energy and like, does it feel weird? Like, do you need something to push you out of feeling in a funk? Okay. Because the reality is at some point in your business, you're going to be in a funk. Okay. No one is just like high on life, motivation, moving forward all the time. That is not real. Like even top coaches do not have juices flowing 24/7. So if that is something and it's affecting your performance and it's affecting your feelings, what can you do to change that? What do you need? Okay. Maybe it's you need to have a game night with your team. Maybe it's that you need to like just get out of your house and even just go like walk at the park, or maybe you need to FaceTime a friend, or whatever it is. Get out of your own way. Because a lot of times I feel like it's more of a mental block than anything. It's kind of like we just get in this pattern and we have to break it, and it's really hard to break. But once we can, it's like, whew, that's a relief. So talk to your coach about this if that's something that you're struggling with, and problem solve it. Because it does happen, and it's not something to be ashamed of. It really does happen to everybody. And then as you go forth into this week, I want you to think about what part of your coach's story you connected with and why. And are you sharing your story so that someone can connect with you? And, we talk about like your avatar and all those things, but guys, it's so simple. And I'll do this one little quick like activity with you, like a brainstorm thing. So think about it like this. Think about your daily life. Okay. What do you do? So you get up. Let's say this is my typical life. I get up, right? I roll out of bed, make my work out, blah, blah, blah. Like that's not really things people connect with, right? They're like, oh, that's cool. I'm just doing that. Okay. And I feed my cats. Ding, ding. That's the thing about me. I have cats. They're really needy. Okay. They're basically like dogs. I feed the cats. Okay. Then if I'm typical school psych life, I haul butt upstairs. I get ready for work. And then I go to work to be a school psychologist. Again, ding, ding. Another thing about me. That's not coaching related. Okay. I spend all day long working with kids. I know lots of things about like therapy and mental health, etc. Again, something else about me. I come home, I have a husband, right? Ding, ding. Everything about me. I hang out with him. Think about the things that you do, okay? Sometimes I go to Starbucks at 4 p.m., okay, and get cold brew. I love cold brew. Like, that is a big part of who I am. The things you share don't have to be something super crazy exciting like you're a Kardashian for people to connect with you. Go through your daily life and just write down what you did. And then be like, oh yeah, I used that appliance. I watched that thing on Netflix. Those are all the things that people can connect with. Share those things. Share the mundane. Don't share just like the, I ate this, I worked out, da-da-da. Share like the just super simple stuff that people can comment on and reply to. So that's just something I had my girls do. And I felt like, I mean, it was super helpful for me because I thought of things that I just had never even thought of before. All right, let me, and yes, please drop stuff in the comments, like in the chat, any questions that you have. Hold on. I am here for other questions.
While they're thinking.
Okay.
So good. I wrote down like a whole page of notes. I don't know if you can see.
Awesome.
So fantastic. And I think it's a good reminder too, like we were literally, before you got on this call, we were talking about my life is boring and I have nothing to share. So this is a great reminder of like your boring connects you to your people. I also I think we're living very similar lives because I've been through, did morning meltdown put us into adrenal fatigue or like what is going on?
But for real. Yeah.
Because my body crashed and burned at the end of last year too. But like you said, the resiliency through those seasons. So the question I get when my coaches they want to share kind of the hard that they're going through, not like deep, dark secret kind of hard, but just like the things that they're experiencing. But they're struggling to share it in a way that's not negative or a way that, how do you tell your coaches to kind of share their struggle, but like how are you tying it into it not being just negative Nelly? Does that make sense?
Yeah. So when I share things, so like, for example, this is a really good time to talk about this. So like, I just got lab work back on Thursday that was not what I wanted. And I shared that, but I also talked about like what we're doing moving forward. Like, so when you share something like, you know, I'm having a hard time, like, I'm having to get back on these supplements. Like, it's going to be really challenging. I've had a hard 4 weeks, but like, I know that things are going to get better. Like, this is what I would say. Like, things are going to get better. I'm just really glad that I even have the opportunity to have this support and be able to do this. And a lot of times, you guys, like, the things that you're struggling with actually, like, are solved by coaching. And you could even turn that into like, I'm so glad that I have this community to support me. I'm so glad that I have the ability to like cover this bill or cover this unexpected expense because of, you know, this job. So always just add how you're going to approach it, because then you're teaching them how to cope too at the same time.
That's perfect. Okay, so now I have a question because y'all aren't putting me in the chat, you shy little crazies. Okay, so a discipline, I love that motivation is crap, but discipline is what builds your business. But a lot of times we base that off feelings and not our goals. So I would love to hear, how do you stay, like, do you have a vision board that's in front of you? Do you have it on your screensaver? Like, what is it that keeps you on that discipline track when you don't want to do the unsexy things in your business?
So I actually have mine written out. I use the Rise Up planner because it just works for me. It looks like this, if you guys are wondering, but you can get it off Amazon, etc. But it requires me to write down my goals and write my vision actually down every week on my planner. I don't have a vision board or anything like that, but I do like seeing that, you know, when I sit down to work every day, it's right here. And again, I really feel like if you define your why, you're living it every day, because it's always reminded in what you're doing. So like every day that I get up and I have to take DHEA, like that is a reminder of like why I'm here and why I have to keep going. When you get up, and if you have kids, if you see your kids and they're your why, like they're a reminder. So I think if you can put it somewhere and do it frequently, then it really will help you like get those juices flowing and remind you when you're in that emotional state of, I just would rather not do this today.
Yeah, love that. So good. So good. So many nuggets.
Thanks.
Anybody have anything they want to ask Courtney before we go? They're so blown away that they're like dumbfounded.
I promise I'm like a super open book and I won't like bite.
I think here it's just a reminder that there's no like unicorn coach in this. We're all the same. It's just a matter of if we connect our dreams and our why to the action that it takes to get there, and the growth, the learning process along the way. I think what was really neat about this call is that I wrote down like 6 book titles of the different things that I talk about PD all the time, but y'all hearing it from Courtney, I hope that sunk in, that what you're doing in your personal development world will get you out of that stuck phase, because we've been there. I've been there working through that too. And that's really a lifeline. So if nobody else has anything, Courtney, I appreciate you. You are wonderful. I appreciate your time. I can't wait to share with your team, hopefully in a couple of weeks. But we'll definitely post a recording of this and I'll send it to you too. So thank you so much for tonight.
Awesome. And I'm going to get a boomerang if y'all don't
mind. Oh yeah. Yes.
Cool.
Y'all stay still.
All right.
Hold please.
Don't go anywhere. If you can show your faces and you're not like in the bathtub, I would love to see your face. All right, you ready?
All right, ready?
Yay, more peeps. Okay, we good? 1, 2, 3. Super cute. I'll send it to you, Rach.
Thank you. I'll be the awkward one that's waving bye to the Zoom meeting. All right, thanks, Courtney. We'll see all you guys next week. All right, bye guys.
Bye.